Hey everyone, welcome to Module 8, the last week of the course. Yay, you made it! It's exciting. There's only one assignment left to do, and that is your Week 8 journal. So this one is a little different than the other journals. There's an interactive map for you to explore, and there are instructions on how to use the map. And then you have some questions to answer about this map. Your reading this week will give you some information about human population growth and what it has kind of done to the environment, and kind of projections into the future. If you look at the document that I created, all I did was just broke those bullet points out into the questions that you're going to answer. So if you look at the map, this is giving you some resources here, but this tells you how to explore it. This is a video that you can watch about it. And it's talking about, how population is expected to grow to 10 billion by the end of this century. And we're going to learn about the impacts of that growth. So looking at this map, you can see all these dots. And there's, different themes here. There's overlays that you can use. So like if we want to look at, fossil fuel emissions, population dots, you can put those in there. Right. So like this means different things depending on what you select, right? So we could look at fertility rates. And so over on this side, it will talk to you about what the colors mean and the dots and things like that. So you can have, multiple things going at one time. We can look at like the health. And so changing the themes will turn off and on, these particular dots down here. And so what's happening here is we're looking at how these things have kind of changed over time, right? So we've got the way far back in history here up into, where we are now. And you can watch how these things change and the predictions for the future, right? So this is as far as like the dots represent like what's going to happen with that. If we want to look at the environment, we can turn that off and on. So you see like it made these dots disappear, but if you click on it again, you can hover over a dot, and this is kind of like a significant event that happened in the environment. So this is whenever oil wells were first kind of put into place. And then, there's a dust event in South America. The Mayan civilization started to decline. Up here we've got, people in society, how, agriculture and food developed, health, science, and technology. So like, for instance, the Silk Road kind of came about for agriculture. A real significant event was being able to start farming, furnaces, different things like that. But the most important thing to remember is if you click on one of these, it kind of turns those significant events off. So I'm going to put that back on there. But anyways, the link on how to read the map is right here. And if you click on that, this will give you the overview of how to control it, what all the overlays mean, how to toggle back and forth, looking at the timeline. So all of those things. So make sure that you go through this before you attempt to answer the questions that are in the Word document. So after you have looked at the map, learned how to read it, then you're going to answer these questions. So can any organism follow an exponential growth forever? What are the limiting factors? This is just kind of like looking at, you can look at it through the lens of like human population. So like, can humans follow an exponential growth forever? What are the limiting factors? Then you're going to talk about what does a dot represent on the map? in which part of the world will the number of humans increase the most? So if we go back to that map that we were looking at, right? Like the dots they're talking about are all of these white dots. And then, assuming that this prediction is accurate, discuss local and global consequences on the environment. So what's going to happen as the population grows. And you want to give a couple of different consequences, not just one. I would say 2 to 3. Do you think that our planet can sustain a human population of 9 billion? Explain why. And then finally, share any thoughts you might have on this subject. So what are your thoughts on human population growth and how it can affect all those different factors that we looked at on the map? So like, you know, looking at like the land uses, the life expectancy, urbanization, all that stuff. What does it all mean? What are your thoughts about it? And you can always take this metric down here back to way, way back. And you can just look at like one factor and change it around and see, you know, what happens or what it looks like, you know, in the past. This is mainly just looking at like population, right, over time. And so you can play around with it and see what happened. But yeah, that's how you complete the assignment. Let me know if you have any questions or if you have trouble interpreting the map. And I just want to thank all of you for your hard work this semester. And I really appreciate the time and the effort that you gave for all of your assignments. And I wish everyone the best moving forward.